Hello everyone, my name is Madison Fulford and I'll be doing this presentation on topography versus function. I chose this topic because this is something that stands out to me the most. It is the forefront of what we do and is the foundation of the planning for future interventions to address the target behavior. So first, let's start out with topography. Topography, or what? This quite literally is what the behavior actually is. Topography is used in ABA to describe what the behavior looks like. A series of movements. The physical form or shape of behavior is a measurable and malleable dimension of behavior. With this, though, you want to avoid descriptions such as good, best, and bad. Describe as much of the behavior as possible while staying objective. Some examples of topography. So the observation itself. Kristen got mad and began to throw crayons during group activities to try and hit other students. The topography would be the student threw items or released items from her hand. Matt, joyful per usual, waved by as he walked out of the class. The student waved or moved his hand from side to side. You see how literally it takes the context of the behavior? Another example would be if we said person is talking. To say someone is talking is describing the topography of the behavior, but tells us nothing about the function. Someone might talk to another person or ask for directions. Another person might talk to teach a class of students, and while another person might talk to flirt with someone they want to date. The biggest question is why. So let's talk about function. Function is open to interpretation. Function of the behavior refers to the contingencies under which the behavior occurs, allows us to understand the behavior with respect to the environment. So the four functions of the behavior, these essentially are your whys. Sensory stimulation, which is a person's own movements, actions that feel good to that individual. Escape, something that is or signals an undesirable situation and the person wants to get away from it. Access to attention. Someone desires for access to social interactions and access to tangibles. Someone wants access to a specific item or activity. For this one, I'll give you an example. Micah takes the iPad away from Tim, so Tim pinches her. If pinching gets access to that iPad, then the pinching will continue. So why is this stuff so important? Being able to identify the topography of the behavior is uniquely important for creating appropriate interventions for children whose disabilities are in part defined by behavior, such as emotional and behavioral disabilities and ASD. Sometimes teachers who aren't extensively trained in dealing with behavioral disabilities may find themselves overreacting, which in turn just creates more problems by focusing on social constructs surrounding this behavior without observing the actual behavior. It is beneficial to have multiple professionals observe the same behaviors and then provide both functional and topographical descriptions. By combining these two methods, the what and the why, educators and behavior specialists can help choose a replacement behavior and create an intervention. Like I said previously, the function of the behavior is important to identify for several reasons, including behavior prevention, choosing socially appropriate replacement behaviors, and the creation of behavior plans. ABA therapists take data, which is then analyzed by a BCBA in order to determine a common function behind the behavior. Without understanding the function of the behavior, any intervention put in place could be ineffective and or make the problem worse. And there's my references, so thanks for listening to my presentation.